Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So I low-key wanted to scrap two of the videos that I actually have partially filmed. I can give you a sneak peek of one of them, which is going to be probably for next week, but because I'm not exactly in the, I guess like the right mood to continue to finish them, and I'm a little bit strapped for time, I decided that instead, let's do a sketching session because I haven't sketched my OCs all that much this year in general, and I tend to draw them a little bit more here and there whenever I do more like traditional sketching. So let's go ahead and do kind of like a little sketch page, but I'm just gonna sketch whoever comes to mind, and also I have no real plan on what I want to do for the sketches. So for today, I did switch over to the 6B pencil, which has kind of like this really nice texture like this, and it kind of reminds me of just using a mechanical pencil in general, so I tend to like to build up value and kind of shade as I do traditionally. So I'm not too sure if we're going to be doing any coloring today, but if at the end I feel like it, maybe we can spruce it up a little bit. So feel free to sketch along, grab your supplies, and also sketch your own OCs if you have any, or if you're planning on like designing your OCs or anything like that, I think it might be a good opportunity to do so. So I don't really have any plans per se for today's session. I'm just gonna sketch. I'm not gonna really flesh anything out too much, I think, or at least like pre-planning, if anything. So we'll kind of feel the sketches out and sketch whoever comes to mind. I only have like roughly 4 to 5 OCs anyways, and I would like to do potentially a redrawing my old OCs video once again, because I haven't touched those redraws in a very long time, so it could be fun to do again. Also, I did switch to a dark, like a really dark gray, rather than the usual kind of muted warm purple that I tend to use whenever I do sketching. So I think we're going to start off with my OC Akemi, who is a, I guess like, I think it's a graphic design student is what I landed on, or an architect student. I don't remember if I solidified either ideas entirely. Let's do, do I want to do more of like a leaning over-ish kind of pose? Because like I said, I don't really have a plan or a direction of what I want to do for these sketches, so we'll kind of just go with the flow for the most part. Okay, maybe cross his arms. He needs to be leaning or like propping himself on something. I don't want him to be like fully laying down. Not like anyone would lay down like this. So Akemi is one of my OCs that I feel like I still don't draw as much, just because I'm still a little iffy on how I want to draw him fully. I have a tendency of changing things sometimes, so I'm clearly not like 100% satisfied with how I either designed him or I want to portray or draw him. So this might be a good opportunity to also just sketch him out quite a bit. I might just only sketch out Akemi. Is that a bad idea? Because maybe I don't want his bangs to be as choppy as I tend to draw them, just kind of more bunched together. So this kind of is a general look of Akemi right now. He kind of has really parted hair. Also a little bit of an undercut. So color scheme wise, I tend to like pairing up a warm color and kind of a cooler color together. So for Akemi, his is more like teal and almost like an orangey yellow color, alongside with a lot of like white and black intermixed with his entire outfit. Masaki, who's like my main OC that I draw probably the most, and you guys have probably seen so frequently, his is more like teal and brown. And then I have Sato, which is kind of like a navy and a peach color. So it's kind of how like I've been picking their colors for the most part because I do have a preference. Well, I made his arms really short. Oh, in my OC Koji, he's more like primary colors. So initially I think I wanted him to be more or less like blue and red. But the reason why I changed that is his hair color is more of a... Initially I wanted to be like more of an olive color, but it kind of changed more to just like a golden color. So he's very much just primary coated. So because I think I'm going to add a little bit of color, I won't do too much shading, even though I would love to just overly render this entire thing. I also kind of see too many similarities between Akemi and Masaki in terms of how I've outfitted their clothing. So that might be another reason why I might be a little bit hesitant of drawing Akemi as frequently. If you guys have an OC that you don't draw often or wish to draw more, let me know like a little blurb or some information about that OC. Because I definitely do think I neglect a lot of my OCs. So you guys should also give love to your own OCs. Erase as much. Like, I would really be trying my best to push the values whenever I do these kinds of sketching sessions. So I won't have to be so bogged down of trying to fix every little thing. Because even right now, his hand's too large. I'm just gonna fix that. But sometimes don't feel too bogged down about making things look like everything look correct. Just have fun and sketch. Because at this point, I'm gonna spend way too much on just this one sketch rather than moving on. Let's move on a little bit to a larger one. Because I feel like also the eyes kind of change the demeanor anyways. So I definitely think I like drawing Akemi with kind of like the derpy eyes. Because they look a little cuter, but I always wanted to give him more of a longer, narrow face compared to Masaki. I'm switching the eyes to be a little bit more of the derp ones, because unless I can fix this, I think I'm just gonna... Actually, I don't know. I think I just don't like his eyes. Let's get rid of them. Yeah, maybe the color will help fix his eyes a little bit, because I don't really like what they look like, but it's also kind of how I doodled them. I'll throw in his glasses after I do the hair, because this is kind of bothering me. See, I don't know if it's because I want him to look less round, or I just didn't plan out his hair entirely. I feel lost when drawing him from any other angle than like face on. Quick turtleneck, which I tend to draw a little bit higher than Masaki's, only because I like to make this a lot darker and a little bit more of a thinner material compared to Masaki's like chunky turtleneck. Because Akemi's would be more like everyday. Probably wear the turtleneck. Masaki is like very much, he'd probably get too warm at some point. He would wear more like formal clothes, semi-formal. Masaki is very much just wears casual, casual clothing. Make him more of a slimmer build, but I gave him such a chunky looking arm. Whenever I do like sketch pages, I think adding text or like sticker like items can be cute. Kind of makes it a little bit more fun. I didn't think I was gonna fit like 2 sketches into this. Maybe I should have lowered him so I can fit more. It's okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm warming up to Akemi a lot. What can I fit here? I'll probably put his name in this little space. So we can probably fit one more here. I thought I was gonna sketch a lot more. Maybe I can do quicker ones afterwards, but let's play around with coloring for these. Give him such a tall head. I just noticed that I should really make a card website or whatever it's called. So I might do, I don't know if I'll make a video about that, but I would like to play around with it a little bit more because I realized that it's kind of like Artist Alley submitting season for conventions, and I would like to table, and I've always been using like weird ways of submitting my art, I feel like. And I know it doesn't really hurt my chances since a majority of it is lottery to be selected, but it wouldn't hurt. Let's move this hand so it makes sense where he's looking, which would be his watch. It's probably me just needing to get over the fact that I didn't really like drawing Akemi's hair in the beginning, but the more I'm kind of sketching him out now, I'm not entirely disliking it anymore. It is a little choppy still, but I still think it's a little cute. Cuter, I guess. 'Cause if it wasn't cute in the beginning, I probably wouldn't have drawn it like that, but he has such a wide... How big is his forehead? Absolutely humongous. Which isn't a bad thing, but I don't think I'm gonna give him a receding hairline, so let's tighten this up a little bit. So technically, the reason why I gave him choppy bangs is because there's a character in Tears of Themis. I think he's like Marius's assistant? Secretary? Whichever it is. I think his name is Vincent. I think he's really cute. He just looks like a happy, kind dude. He kind of has like the choppier bangs as well. But I didn't want to go like full choppy all the way across for Akemi. So, kind of reason why I wanted to break up his hair a little bit. I feel like I always forget to put a pocket for him, even though I think a lot of dress shirts have it. Don't write his name. I always like making the text also very wonky. Sometimes if I'm doing like solid color, then I wouldn't do this, but every time I do like blocky letters like this, I like making them a little funny. Oops. Why did I spell Akeki? Not Akemi. Oopsies. I forget what last name I gave him, so I'm gonna have to dig through sketchbooks eventually and see if I can find it with my OC Akemi. And what I'm gonna do is... I'm gonna duplicate my sketch first. I'm gonna change this one to multiply. I'm gonna alpha lock it, and I'm gonna paint it with a very... we want to go brown? Maybe. Like a reddish purple maybe is what we're gonna do. Or even like a dark grayish blue, like a steel blue. And what I'm gonna do is add color underneath. But let's find a brush that we can use for this. I don't know if I fully grasp how to use Old Beach as a brush. I mean, it could be fun to use if I can figure it out. Because I don't know if I should do like one full pass of it. And just block out like where my highlights and everything are. Let's do a test on this one as the main one. This might also work a little bit better if I'm using a white canvas. I mean, overlapping with this brush actually it doesn't look too bad, so I might clean up, then re-put these in. I also forgot to finish the rest of his shirt. It's a little awkward. But let's alpha lock this and see if I can just add in the color like this. Or does this not work? Because I want to see if I can... Yeah, the texture remains, so maybe I can do it like this. It kind of works a little bit better. So maybe let's fill the rest of the Akemi sketches kind of with this wash with the Old Beach brush. Let's see. Because I like the idea of having more of like a watercolor look, but sometimes replicating that digitally is just too difficult for my brain to handle. A little bit easier for me to use is the wet brush from Palo Domenico, something like that. I usually have it linked in my description. Kind of the lip area, side of the face. I'm trying to do this in one go so I can kind of like retain the texture to have a little bit of less overlap, but I feel like this brush actually does a good job of letting the like where you stop and where you start to kind of be very consistent. So there's not really that weird overlap you usually get with watercolor, so that we can add color to them. And I'm basically putting down kind of like this weird little like orangey beige color. I could use it for a skin tone, but I want to build up the value, so I'm probably going to switch to something lighter first, and then we can probably go back and use this color. So let's see what we can do and add I guess color with this brush. We'll see how this reacts, because I might want a more watercolor look, so I might switch to something else. But this is kind of fun. A little bit easier to control, if anything. And I also forgot that Akemi's shirt's white, so we might have to find a way for this to look correct. So I might leave a lot of the warm edges. Still kind of that orangey beige color I initially put out, but we're gonna add in kind of this lighter blue-ish color here. Let's see. Let's add kind of our navy color to his shirt. Yeah, I really like the Old Beach kind of texture that it has. Some of these colors a little bit like intermingling, because this actually looks more like a watercolor wash where you kind of let the colors bleed in. So I think that's kind of fun to do. Yeah, this is kind of fun. I haven't explored too much, I think, with the brushes anymore, since, like, you know, if you have a comfortable way of how you render or how you color, you might stick with that method for a while. I'm definitely in that boat. I always play with the saturation of his hair because sometimes I want it to be much more prominently saturated, like very teal-ish colored, turquoise-ish maybe. And then other times I want it to be very muted, more gray looking. And I kind of like the grayish looking one a little bit better. But I keep flip-flopping, so ignore anything and everything I say in this video. Oh, I forgot. So if you guys are looking for the old beach brush, it is under the artistic section of the brush library in Procreate. There's like other ones in here that look pretty cool as well, but I'm gonna stick with Old Beach just because there's an artist that I like that uses it, and I mentioned them a few times. So if I remember to keep this in the video, I'll put their name on the screen so you can check out their stuff. But I have to look up their name because I don't remember at this point. So I do like the look of kind of the lighter color, like this, so get like a good start on it. And we can add a little bit of shadow here. Yeah, let's see what multiply looks like with this brush as well. See how it looks as a watercolor look. I might make it a little lighter. And then we can go ahead and airbrush in some extra hues here. So I'm gonna kind of pick a blue. Oh, I forgot his eye color. Wait a second. So Akemi's eyes are kind of more of a warm yellow. So let's go ahead and put that in using the Old Beach brush. Are these considered like pinstripes? Because I tend to associate, I don't know why, these colors with Akemi as well, but also the fact that I feel like he would like anything that has more like geometrical shapes or something like that. So maybe I did make him more of a architectural student or graphic design. I don't remember which. One day if I ever write their story, which is highly unlikely, but I'll definitely flesh it out at some point, even if it's not for like an actual comic or webtoon or anything like that. I will see if I can find time to do that. Then we can go into our sketch lines, and I've already went ahead and locked it so that we can also make the face and some other areas a little softer. So I'm kind of using a softer brush. It's the same one I've been using for changing the hues in the washes. Maybe I'll do a quick one of Maseki as well. I don't know why. This kind of brush is just super cute for these doodles. I'm really liking it. Kind of like the steel blue color for this though. Feels more Akemi-like. I think that's it for Akemi. So I'll quickly do a Maseki session. I don't know if I'll put in time-lapse or I'll just put in snippets, but we'll quickly do one because I feel the urge to. But yeah, here's kind of the look of Akemi. Some cute washes here and there. I know it's a little bright, so it might be a little hard to see since I did switch the canvas to white instead of that kind of dusty gray color. Yeah, but I kind of like this brush with the 6B pencil. It's kind of cute. So let me do an extra one of Maseki really quickly. Heck, maybe I won't even doodle. Or I will doodle, but I won't do like a few. I'll do like one larger one of Maseki, and then we'll call that a day for today's sketching session. lashes. I'll probably speed through this, so you probably won't see too much footage of this portion. Put a highlight up here. Yeah, we'll keep this kind of simple, but I want to be able to play around with a lot more of the washes. And I might actually do this as well and kind of clean up as I go so that we can kind of make room for the other washes so that the lines won't fully disrupt the entire piece. I just really like the 6B pencil. It just has the right amount of texture. Because I'm not really like a texture person when it comes to drawing, but 6B pencil I really enjoy. I think this is like a long time ago. This is probably when I was in, I think, either very early high school or at the very end of middle school. Me and my friends went to like a convention, which is like more local to our city. And at the time, me and my friend were very adamant about, I guess it has to be high school, because we were asking the person to draw Haikyuu characters. Maybe it was end of high school, if not early uni. We commissioned this girl to draw Haikyuu characters because she had a really cute like chibi style, and she was doing them like on the same day that you would commission. Wow, I just threw everything I wanted to do out the window. But basically, I don't know if this girl overestimated her speed in which she could finish commissions and the amount that she has accepted, because the commission that we got in the end looked nothing like her style anymore. Like, it was still hers, but it looked so rushed. I don't know, it was probably not my favorite experience to get a commission from a person, but I understand the reason why it happened, because she got a lot of commissions that time. She's one of the only people who accepted commissions at the convention, and I think it was more popular back then, because even when I accepted commissions from people from the con, like anime conventions, it's less frequent than before. Not only that, do let me know if you want me to do a video about talking about doing commissions in person at a convention, because I've done it for I think 3 years that I've done convention tabling, and I've had different varied experiences because I've done graphite only for my first year and my third year, and then the second year I did watercolor, so it was a very different experience of accepting commissions at the time. I would like to do like a mock trial run of doing commissions for a convention or like on the go. But I also just need to focus on getting my applications in. My brain's so fried this week. It's really bad. Kind of like part way through yesterday when I was drawing stuff for like merch and a few other things, I was having like an existential crisis, and I don't know why. I was also going through a whole rabbit hole of like, if I do get accepted to like a convention to table again, what am I doing to change my table layout? Because the amount of prints that I would like to have for my table is way too many. Having like the photo booth, what is it called? A photo wall kind of setup, if that makes sense. Like the people who have like the bars behind the table and you have your prints kind of hanging on them. But I was like, I should buy sandbags so I can weigh it down, because my worst nightmare is literally causing an inconvenience to another person. And I've seen people's displays fall down, and I'm like, sandbag. I bring a sandbag. I'll put it on the photo booth stand thing that hangs my prints, because it'll at least weigh it down probably enough and probably prevent people from more or less tripping on it and tipping over. But then I was like, do I even go with that idea? Because I was like entertaining the idea if I wanted to bring more prints, or do I downsize my prints by a heck of a lot so then I don't have to worry about that setup? I don't know, man. I don't even know if I'm accepted in. I haven't even applied yet. It opened up like literally earlier today, so I need to get my applications in. And there's like a few other conventions I've been thinking of going to. I don't know when the applications are for them, so I need to do some research. But I believe my friend said she would love to go with me if there's one in Seattle. There's also like Annie Revo. There's also Anime North. Anime North seems like a nightmare though. Not only is it across the entire country for me, but I feel like the process of getting in is very unlikely. Also, you can see that I resorted to drawing very basic looking rose-like flowers, and then I'm putting these little ones. I don't even know how much I'm rambling for today. Start off with a really light color, which could be Masaki's skin tone. And let's start. Kind of guessing a little bit here. Kind of planning a little bit of the highlights here. I don't know why I'm enjoying this a lot more. I feel like I should have experimented more with other brushes or other methods of coloring, just even for sketches or doodling, anything like that, more often. Color these all dark for the most part, because if we're going to keep with having the light source be on the left, I'm going to make these all into shadow basically. I feel like I've done this kind of similar pose and then the flowers on the side. I'll look for it later. The neck area. And ears. I don't mind making these all kind of pinky. After that, let's go ahead. Actually, I'm gonna make his nose a little bit more rosier. A little bit of yellow, and then let's add our brown. So for his hair, I'm gonna start and concentrate a lot of the pigment on this side, and then we'll get kind of more watery or faded into this peach color as we gradually move to the left. Ooh, this is not his color. Okay, that's better. You can kind of play with the intensity and saturation of other colors. So it's kind of fun. Also, whenever I do like painting, other colors like this can be fun. So I'm adding a little bit of kind of that green to Masaki's hair. So for his sweater, let's get our teal turquoise color. And similar to the hair, I'm going to start on the right, kind of bleed into the peach color, because I still want it to be present for the most part. I'm going to knock this one back though. Darker color, then we want brown like we did for his hair, which I'm gonna start off dark, move from this side. So you can see some of the overlap that I had, which is like right here, which isn't bad, because I feel like the unpredictability of watercolor kind of lends itself to be a little bit forgiving. Yeah. I think this is like a better way of doing like fake watercolors in a sense. I don't even think I'm gonna add an extra layer of shadow. I'm gonna change the line art color a little bit here. So I'm gonna show you guys the one I was talking about that I'm kind of comparing this version to, because I think at the time when I was very new to the iPad, that's kind of like what I wanted this to, or what the other one, what I wanted that other one to look like was something like this. this. It kind of reminds me of this one. So I kind of did this with the, I think this is the wet brush. Yeah, I don't even think I used 6B for this. I used something else, but this one reminds me, if I can save it, of this one. Only because of what I probably imagined that first one to look like was probably what I wanted it to look like this one. I don't know if I'm wording that correctly, but hopefully you understand what I mean. Because I wanted it to look more airier, which is why I wanted to use watercolor brushes for something like this, or watercolor markers, or whatever you want to say I used for this one in particular. But I definitely think this has a better result, and I also think it just looks super pretty. Yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's kind of little sketching session and me kind of fiddling around with brushes. Also, here's Akemi. If I remember at the very end, maybe I'll do an extra one of Akemi and include it at the video, because none of these I don't think do him justice. And I think I spent so much time just loving and adoring my OC Masaki once again. So let me go do Akemi and I'll see you guys in the next video. Do let me know if you ended up drawing your OC alongside me as well. And let me know who is your most neglected OC. Because Akemi, Sato, and Koji are all neglected OCs because I baby Masaki the most. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and draw Akemi, but I'll see you guys next time in the next video. Bye!